Yeah, why have I titled, I feel the earth move under my feet? We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that. Some information has crossed my path from another video.
It is as hot as a demon's penis in this city. It is as hot as a demon's penis in this city.
You're going to take me to court, Secular? Oh, please do, Secular Lobster. Please take me to court, motherfucker. Please do.
Take me to court.
I know for a fact you're bilking the government out of their fucking welfare money. And I'm going to fucking report your ass, bitch. I'm going to report your ass. I mean, you guys sure would have reported me if I'd have done it. So I'm going to report your ass, Secular Lobster. I'm going to get you in trouble, motherfucker. And you're just going to have to fucking like it. So now go make another hate video about me, bitch. Because when I call the welfare office and I report your ass, you're going to lose your fucking benefits. So now fucking go make another hate video about me, bitch. Go ahead. Go ahead. You don't think I'll report your ass, motherfucker? Watch me. Watch me and see. Watch and see if I don't. You motherfuckers sure wouldn't hesitate to report my happy ass. So by God, I'm going to turn the tables on you, bitch.
Candy Rain is in the jail cell right now. You think he's playing?
Yeah, if you think I'm playing, go check the video and see where Candy Rain is right now. She's in fucking jail.
You can't see the video right now.
We get along, you know. I hear it all the fucking time. I literally hear it all the time. That is the number one biggest argument. And, you know, and I'm going to blow that argument away right now. Okay.
But yes, I'm wearing my pickle suit, as you can see, in honor of Kim Jong-un's brother getting killed. Have you noticed how the communists still wear the pickle suit? Am I the only one to notice that shit? We phased the pickle suit out in my era, back in the 80s. But yet you'll notice a lot of these communists, they still wear the pickle suit. Why?
In recognizing a communist, physical appearance counts for nothing. If he openly declares himself to be a communist, we take his word for it. If a person consistently reads and advocates the views expressed in a communist publication, he may be a communist. If a person supports organizations which reflect communist teachings, or organizations labeled communist by the Department of Justice, she may be a communist. If a person defends the activities of communist nations while consistently attacking the domestic and foreign policy of the United States, she may be a communist. If a person does all these things over a period of time, he must be a communist. But there are other communists who don't show their real faces, who work more silently.
By the early
19th... Title of this video, this hangout, is Morons and Idiots. Title of this video, this hangout, is Morons and Idiots.
Basically giving them the permission to do what they want. I remember when I got my orders to go to Germany, when I went to Germany, they briefed us on how to interact with local law enforcement. They told us, look, if you have a driver's license to operate a motor vehicle in Germany, let's say you get pulled over and they suspect you of drinking and driving, and they ask you to do a polygraph, or not a polygraph, but a breathalyzer test or a sobriety test, and you refuse, then they can beat you up to make you bleed just to extract blood from you and test you that way. They have the legal right to remove blood by whichever means they see necessary to see whether or not you're drinking and driving. See, over here, we're protected a little bit more, but it's the same thing. If you enter in that contractual agreement with the government, you're then playing by their rules.
Folks, even if you don't believe in the Mandela effect, I think you're going to find this video very interesting. Now, I can tell you, this, I know, this really got me, you know, I gotta say, this got me. I'm not gonna spoil it, okay, I don't want to spoil it, but this video really got me going as far as Mandela effect. This has got to be the premier Mandela effect for me, okay? Might not be for anybody else, but for me, this is the #1 primo Mandela effect, bar none, okay? But I don't want to spoil it. But, you know, now, I know there's going to be, the usual people from this reality, this paradigm, that are going to say, shit's always been there. Vonhelton's crazy. You know, but see, to those of us that came from the arm of Sagittarius, it's like, no, that shit wasn't there before. This is new. This is new. This is wild. This is amazing. I mean, it really is amazing for me. All right, for me. You know, I can't speak for anybody else, but this is amazing for me. And no, it did not exist. I assure you, it did not exist. Not in my timeline. Not from the arm of Sagittarius. Not that I remember, but you know, we're going to get down to the nitty gritty on this thing because it's just amazing. It is literally amazing. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
Brother Abbas from Dammam was asking about the ruling on urinating standing up, and this was done by the Prophet ﷺ in the authentic hadith that he came nearby a junkyard and he urinated standing up. So urinating standing up is completely permissible. There's nothing wrong in it, providing that you are safe from getting any ricochet, anything coming back to your body or to your clothes from your urination. Yeah, your urine.
Alrighty, good people. I have found me a legitimate Mandela effect. Alright. Because there is no way in hell that Islam penetrated all the way to Middle France. Didn't happen. No way. In fact, they've got a red line there where Islam was stopped. So I don't know why they're showing them going all the way into France like that. That doesn't make that it's interesting they got that red line there because that red line is exactly where they stopped at. So I don't know why they're insisting that Islam spread up into France like that because it never fucking happened. I have found a legitimate Mandela effect. Islam did not spread that far up into Europe. No, they did not. They were stopped at that red line there. So why are they saying it extended on up in there? I don't know, but I'm finding it more and more and more as I search the internet.
9:30, we're stepping in the service. Music, message, we don't want them to fly. Fun, church can be fun. You know that it is. I got this, you got this. Communion by my right. Hey, I got this, you got this. Offering back it. Kicking in the front pew, sitting in the back pew. Gotta make my mind up, which role will we take? It's Sunday, celebrating Sunday.
We see all of these extremes constantly hitting us. We have an extreme problem, but you know, they're trying to attach it to a lot of things that have political agendas behind them, such as global warming. I believe that's mostly a political agenda. But the real issue with the weather and everything else on the earth has to do with sin and wickedness.
Right, because he is. You're about to hit the Guinness Book of World Records, brother. Right? So I get up and I'm having problems with the word chap. I don't know what chap is. I've never even heard the word before. Chap, the chap. Okay, so all right, stop right there. I'll tell you. Right. I'm going to tell you, I Googled it. Oh, you Googled it, okay. All right. That is years ago. So I get up and I go to the computer and I'm struggling with the word chap. I go, what's chap? What does that mean? So I Google wheat and chap, and I realize that chap has no value. It's almost, I've been awake as well, so have you, for quite some time. And the truth of the matter, Vaughn, is that even for guys like you and I, who are on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as the awakening goes, we're at 11. And the truth of the matter is, even for us, it's very difficult to just continuously absorb all of this wicked and crazy information that is going on in this world. And then on top of it, you got CERN that's messing with that D-Wave computer and screwing with our reality, which makes things even worse because you don't know what's real, what's not real. You don't know if something's going to change tomorrow, or the next day, or the next. You know, I mean, I was just Googling about the Muslims again,
right.
And now, according to history, the Muslims had invaded all the way up into the high part of France, almost to Belgium. I was like, no way, that ain't right.
Standard American Builder says it's time you moved up in the world.
You need extra room, but there's nowhere to go. This way.
That's why Standard American Builder says move up.
Let them add a second story to your home at a price so low you'll wonder why you waited.
He said, I am the truth, and life nobody gets the thought of it. If he is the truth, that means that anything that we are absorbing or being awoken to in truth must be coming from Christ. Now, there are channels out here that are flat earth channels. They're anti-Christian channels, but I'm also well aware and studied in that I'm also aware that Satan uses and he'll bend and twist them in order to manipulate and keep people from ultimate truth. Because we know that flat earth is actually God being hidden from the world. This is exactly what the number one purpose is. Are they hiding land on the other side of the ice? Most quite possibly. Can you control people if they know the truth? Absolutely not. So of course you want to keep the secret. But I think the ultimate truth that they are hiding is the existence of God. And so Satan is going to take this truth and give it and disperse it amongst the deceivers, that they as well would deny and reject God in order to continue their agenda, not knowing that they're actually a part of the deception and by no stretch part of the truth.
I just went to Kentucky Fried Dinosaur and had me 20 piece.
Yes.
Don't you wish there was a Kentucky Fried Dinosaur? Just think of the size
You're
of
getting a few days
the
clean,
wings.
and then they come out, see the house clean, and give you the kids right back. Well, they didn't do it that way this time. So, you know, I'm talking to people. Let's just put it that way. I'm talking to people because, you know, I feel like not only have my rights been violated, I feel like my kids' rights been violated. You know, they were uprooted out of a school that they were accustomed to, where all their friends were. You know, my kids are getting straight A's in school, somewhat after Daddy's insistence, of course. You know, and I started on them early too. I said, "See that little smiley face on the picture?" They said, "Yeah." I said, "I want you to bring home all your papers with smiley faces on." I'm like, okay. So, but no, it's like I said before, I read the Emerald Tablets. In fact, I even did a video on it, several parter actually. And you know, I'm reading the Emerald Tablets, and thoughts is like, hey, if it's darkness, evil, if it has to do with blood or with a sacrifice, or with you know, what's that where people talk about you, gossip, backbiting, anything of that nature. God says, stay away from that. That's not of the God. Stay away from it. Okay, and that flies in the face of a lot of these pagans online who think, oh, we can put the good and the evil together, yin and yang. You know, we can have them both, and it's not what God said, man. Well,
First and foremost, in Genesis 3:6, and again, I'm not a fan of coincidences. 3:6 is 3:6. That is the exact moment that Satan deceived Eve. Now let that wrap around your head for a moment. 3:6 in Genesis is the moment Satan deceives Eve. Now, did Satan deceive Eve with evil? Did she deceive Eve with darkness? Did she deceive Eve with something that looked vicious and mean and hurtful? No, he didn't. He deceived her with what looked good. She said the fruit was appealing to the eye. It was pleasing to the eye. It looked good for food, so I partake of it. And make no mistake about it, that's exactly what is happening in this world. We are being deceived by that of which looks good. I'll be the first to admit space looks amazing. Star Trek, Star Wars, Chewbacca, R2-D2, that is some good-looking stuff. That looks pleasing to the eye. That we can travel to outer space and meet other life forms and other planets, and they'd be like, hey, human, we've been watching you. You guys are some cool people. Rand, yeah, I've seen your YouTube channel and watched some of those flat-out electric videos. You're a cool dude. Why don't you and your flat-out electric crew come hang out with us on Poopanapa Planet, and we're going to introduce you to Hoopatapacha, and we're going to just, let's do a video from here. Let's do a hangout from Hoopatapata. You want to do a video from up here? We can relay it to Mars or Mars to the moon, and then from satellite from ISS, we can satellite it right down to Earth, and you can do an entire hangout from up here. That sounds to me real cool. It sounds pleasing to the eye.
I think you have to have the satellites before you do that thing.
Amen. And it's all, I just said, it's all pleasing to the eye.
You know, I jump on my ass to lower myself to his level. Well, if you hurl insults at the very beginning of your video, guess what? You lost the argument. Insults at the very beginning to his level. Well, if you hurl insults at the very beginning of your video, guess what? You lost the argument. Insults at the very beginning of your video, guess what?
The thing that has bugged me, I mean, even when I was a Christian, the thing that bugged me was these Jesus-only types. And it's like, how can these people exist? Do they have whole pages of their Bible ripped out or something? Or what? How can that be? Because the Bible clearly talks about the Father. The Bible clearly talks about the Holy Spirit. You know, the Bible talks about angels and demons, and, you know, even God even talks about other gods. He says, don't serve other gods. But yet these Jesus-only people, man, they totally dismiss all that, and Jesus is the only thing that exists. He's the only way. He's done it all. It's everything is Jesus. And I have never, I mean, what kind of Bible do these people read out of? They can't be reading out of the same Bible I'm reading out of. They can't.
I agree. I think that they're in a mental position of not wanting to acknowledge negatives and evils in the world, which is unfortunate because this is exactly the need for Christ, is the evil and the negatives and the fall and the tainted creation that we're in. This is the need for Jesus Christ. And if they can't recognize that, then how do they even see the need for Christ? So yeah, I don't understand it either, Vaughn.
I don't get it.
And the scripture is absolutely clear that there is an enemy entity named Satan. So I don't know how in the world there are Christians out there that don't believe in this entity. And I've heard full preterists say that Satan was the old priest system and not an entity at all. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me?
Folks, I have seen a lot of Mandela effect videos. I have seen a lot of wild shit with these men, including people disappearing, reappearing, dying, coming back to life multiple times, 2 and 3 times. All Mandela effects. I've seen people lose family members. I've seen people gain family members. I've seen, you know, of course, the obvious, the Berenstain Bears and Luke, I am your father, and, you know, the typical stuff, you know. But I've seen some pretty wild shit too, you know. And of course, CERN is saying, yeah, we're going to crank it up even higher. I'm like, oh, great, you know. The last time they cranked it up, we started seeing sea monsters, you know. But they weren't really sea monsters. What they were was dinosaurs that were running around in our oceans.
Say what happened. Well, I was doing number 2. And you still there, Paul? Mm-hmm. And I reached back there, and there's a wife in all. and I kept a feeling something. And I grabbed it and I pulled, and
No, please.
here's my hemorrhoid. And I had to have them cut off.
So I guess Panama City has a clinic for that?
Well, I had that done at UAB.
UAB?
Yeah.
And is UAB known for that?
I don't know about that. It's hotter than hell down here, though.
Hey, what's up, man? I don't know if Zach will let me stay in here or not, but I came in here because Brother John's in the side chat presenting a link that, like, we haven't seen this link a million times and how it's been debunked a million times. Presented this link, I'll put it in the side chat because I know you guys have seen it over and over, and I have too. They don't realize that all of this has been debunked. So this is a link that tries to say that the heavenly bodies are what debunks the flat Earth, but actually it's the opposite for one and for another. The heavenly bodies can't determine the size of the Earth, the shape of the Earth. So it's funny that they always go to astronomy to prove the Earth's curvature. The Earth is a ball. Yeah, that's not gonna work. It's funny too that he in this so-called rebuttal link that he posted, it talks about, I cannot believe that people who believe in the spherical model are still using this, the whole shit's over the curve thing. I mean, we have proved that with zooming cameras, that is not the case. It cannot be behind a curve. If you can bring it back into focus with zooming cameras or binoculars or telescopes, that disproves that right there. So I don't know why in the world they would still use that. That's like one of the most lamest.
Okay, welcome to Flat Earth. This is going to be an open hangout. Just basically talking about the plethora of things that we can talk about.
He said, "Come with me to
this world is moving very quickly. A lot of information is
my children,
at us. Rapido. That's been over quickly and fast. Rapido. I'm over here.
Those that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus as the Word of God, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their forehead. So this is after the Antichrist, or during, or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Christ 8,000 years. So these are the ones that were beheaded. So they obviously returned with Christ and reigned with him on the earth for 1,000 years. But the rest of the dead lived not until not again. This is the first resurrection.
Well, exactly. But that's my point. Okay, it doesn't say it's the second. It says the first resurrection. Ergo, there was no rising of the dead.
No. It's saying that these ones that were beheaded are the first ones resurrected and they returned to Christ and reigned for 1,000
We
years.
have the dome over us.
Stop looking.
The firmament is spoken about very strongly in Scripture.
This hatred, it's sacred. It's not about me.
And
don't stop. Don't go.
We are well protected. That's a fact. So you can go ahead and put all that space stuff away. But you know, once you get them over those little indoctrinations, there's some indoctrinations that are just
one country. They're nothing like
they're strong. Like you gotta give credit where credit's due. The people that have been deceiving
The
us.
destruction of a people, resurrection of a
Wow.
mind.
And you're right, it is a violation of your space. Absolutely right. And that's why the founding fathers were adamant that we have a right to be secure in our person, we have a right to privacy, we have a right to keep in their own, we have certain inalienable rights.
Did y'all see that?
Looking at it here. Yeah, they're saying that aliens nuked
Start listening.
the United States.
How many are me?
Very strong possibility that there's aliens that nuked.
Okay.
This is the newest possibility. New evidence, life
So
science.
if you're not secure in your person, then your rights are being violated. Absolutely.
With this instrument of
Well, this is why. I mean, a lot of it we volunteer, especially with the traffic side of it. Because we volunteer into a contract with the state. When you sign up for a driver's license, register your vehicle, we're basically giving them the permission to do what they want. I remember when I got my orders to go to Germany, when I went to Germany, they briefed us on how to interact with local law enforcement. They told us, look, if you have a driver's license to operate a motor vehicle in Germany, let's say you get pulled over and they suspect you of drinking and driving, and they ask you to do a polygraph, or not a polygraph, but a breathalyzer test or a sobriety test, and you refuse, then they can beat you up to make you bleed just to extract blood from you and test you that way. They have the legal right to remove blood however many they see necessary to see whether
That's hilarious. I was watching the exact same video the other night, and that's the one thing that stuck in my
You
head.
should have, but it's easier said than done. Like, coming from a military background myself, if one of your superiors gives you an order, even though it might be unlawful, if you disobey, that goes your chance potentially of ever making right, of ever going anywhere, because they feel like they're above the law. I mean, his supervisor, whoever it was that gave him the order, I'm sure he was well aware that it was unlawful.
That's hilarious. I was watching the exact same video the other night.
And I think that if you have the discernment to be able to read Scripture and understand how God is unveiling truth and how that truth is in perfect timing to the removing of grace and mercy, you would be 100% in spirit and in Christ. And as God said, He is seeking those that are in spirit and in truth. Jesus Christ said, I am the truth and the life. Well, you have a dead spirit, so you can't be in life with a dead spirit. And you can't, Jesus Christ said He is the truth, so you can't be in Christ if you're not in truth. Amen. And this is where we are. And I think it's a very unique time to be in. It's a very special time to be in. And I think that the clock has been sped up because we can see things starting to unveil at a rapid pace. And it is crazy when you think of it all and you try to put it all in perspective. Even as a Christian who has been afforded the awakening, who has been afforded the truth outside of the world we live in, which we don't even see. Even as an awakened Christian, which I think is the elect, and slap me if I'm wrong, but I believe that is the elect, what is truly awake to what's going on and who profess Christ as their Lord and Savior. Those are the elect.
And I agree with you, Rand, but that's one of the things that I was talking about.
And people don't understand that God's mercy isn't even upon the wicked right now. Because if He removed His mercy and His grace from this earth, it would be gone in a second.
And those demons are clinging to the walls of the funnels that lead to hell. They're funnels that go into hell. And the demons are on the walls looking out, waiting for the gates to open, waiting for servants to break open those gates so that those demons can come into this dimension. And God's mercy is holding that back. I'm going to tell you something, bro. If that when that happens, those that think that they've outsmarted God here in this world have another thing coming. You better be good and thankful for His grace and His mercy, because, Vaughn, you and I both know if God released the absolute truth all in one shot, there's no way this world can handle it. He has only given the truth. He has only given the truth to those that can handle it, and He has only given us enough that we can handle it.
Exactly.
It says in Scripture that He has to speed up time, because if not, it would be possible that maybe even the elect wouldn't survive. Now think about that in the context of waking up every day, knowing what it is that you know.
Boy, have I got a bombshell for you guys. Have I got a bombshell for you guys. You guys ain't gonna believe this shit. Us birthers were right all along. You heard me. Us birthers were right about Obama all along. Stay tuned. You're gonna like this. When last we met, I missed you terribly. I won't miss this time. Alright, ladies and germs. I want you to listen careful. Let me move my thing. There we go. I want you to listen careful, because I have got the bombshell of the century. Tim Adams, former chief elections clerk in Honolulu, says Obama not born in Hawaii and no long form exists. Let me say that again. Tim Adams, former chief elections clerk in Honolulu, says Obama was not born in Hawaii and no long form exists. That's why when I called Hawaii, they said they couldn't give me no long form and that it would never be released. Well, obviously you can't release it if you ain't got one. So that makes sense. Remember, folks, I called Hawaii myself and asked them. So
my Muslim friend would never blow shit up. Now, some of you may have caught it, some of you may have not caught it. But in the news, there was this chick called Cowgirl. Did any of you catch it? Any of you catch Cowgirl? Some news media reported it, some news media didn't. The news media that kisses Muslim ass didn't report it. Just saying.
we interrupt your regularly scheduled program to show you a message of absolute and utter stupidity. The ABA, the American Bar Association, the people that make lawyers, says, I mean, you see it there. What does it say? Let illegal immigrants practice law. Stop and think about that for a second. What is this saying? It's saying let lawbreakers practice law. When you cross our border to come into this country, you are breaking the law. And the American Bar Association is saying, let people who break the law practice law. Do you have any idea how utterly stupid that is? Do you have any idea? I mean, I don't know what to say. I do not know what to... I have entered Bizarro World. This is Bizarro World. When when the American Bar Association, not us, the American Bar Association, the people that give lawyers, I took real estate law in school for those of you that are wondering, full confession. When the American Bar Association that gives us attorneys our credentials is going to get up on public television and say, let people who break the law practice law.
Right. And they use that fear tactic to keep us subconsciously or unconsciously dependent on the government. Like we need them for something. Like here's a new strain of a virus that can wipe out the population. We need more funds to combat this, otherwise we'll all be wiped out. Or we're on the path with an Andromeda galaxy and Earth. Climate change, we're going to destroy the planet, blah, blah, blah. It's always a reason to keep us under their dependency.
As long as they have the tools of sorcery.
Well, maybe we can talk privately. I own a promotional. Here we can do some prayer and we can see what.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right, we can see what God has for you.
Of the flat Earth, I used to do video blogs where I would outline all the flat Earth videos, and once Jeranism put one of my articles on his blog.
Blame game, like how can you even get to someone to talk to them who actually has the truth? It's like you're dealing with middlemen up until you walk into a museum at NASA, and then it's even more mind-boggling. Like, wow, I can never go to space.
Those are kind of those little tiny ingredients that are gonna make, and I believe very soon, been waiting to present. And I thoroughly believe that you're right, Maria, in that it's an agenda, and it's been a long-going agenda. And like I said earlier in this hangout, they have been extremely patient. They have sat back and just waited on Earth. That could not happen on a ball Earth. You could not see a tree on the other side of a ball. So I think, and the fact that it's in Daniel 4:11, if you dial 411 in your phone right now, it's going to be information. And this is the truth. This is the truth. We are the branches. In John 15, it says that Jesus Christ, the vine, that Jesus said that he is the truth. Damaging it can be damaging if you get on the wrong ones. I encourage you to sub to this channel, and we also have a group, a community called Flat Elected Community on Google Plus. It's a community called Flat Out Elected. I encourage you to join that.
Okay, I'm on Google Plus. I'm sure I'll find you.
Okay. Yeah, Flat Earth is very interesting. I'm very intrigued by who comes to Flat Earth.
That works. Yeah, we just drive. It's like, I have waited too long. It's like when the Chinese come to America, and then at the airport, as they're getting ready to leave to go home to their families, they want to buy some souvenirs. Okay. American, so they grab, that little American flags and the ceramic gifts in the gift shop, and when they turn them over, it says made in China.
Yeah, that's so sad. I'm hoping Trump fixes that. He said he's going to. So.
I don't know where a lot is happening very quickly. A lot is happening very quickly. It's almost, I've been awake as well, so have you, for quite some time. And the truth of the matter, Vaughn, is that even for guys like you and I, who are on a scale of 1 to 10, as far as the awakening goes, we're at 11. And the truth of the matter is, even for us, it's very difficult to just continuously absorb all of this wicked and crazy information that is going on in this world.
And then on top of it, you got CERN that's messing with that D-Wave computer and screwing with our reality, which makes things even worse, because you don't know what's real, what's not real. You don't know if something's going to change tomorrow, or the next day, or the next. I was just Googling about the Muslims again. Right. And now, according to history, the Muslims had invaded all the way up into the high part of France, almost to Belgium. I was like, no way, that ain't right. They were stopped in Spain. And the reason I remember they were stopped in Spain is because they built them one of them mega mosques there in Spain to celebrate the fact that they had penetrated into Europe. But no, they were stopped at Spain. They didn't travel all the way up into France. But see now, if you go and Google it, they go all the way up into France. Well, that's the end.
What about this other one I heard recently, that apparently scientists are now professing that the dinosaurs were nuked, not hit by a meteorite. They were nuked.
Nuked, as in literally nuked with a bomb.
Apparently.
I don't know where they're getting that from, but no.
Well, like we have now concluded, or at least a handful of those in the 11th stage of the awakening. This world is crazy.
Yeah. Well, like I said, CERN has absolutely no oversight that I'm aware of. There's no government body that's allowed to interfere with them. Because why didn't Switzerland go in there and say, hey, listen, man, you're messing with our reality, shut this down? Switzerland ain't done it, France ain't done it, nobody's going to do it, nobody has the authority. Nobody has the authority to
They did a satanic ritual on the premises.
Yes, they did, that's right.
They did satanic ritual.
Well, they did a human sacrifice on the premises also.
That's right, and CERN also, when they opened, did the dance of Shiva.
That's right, and they've got a big statue of Shiva, life-size statue of Shiva in their front yard.
Right,
and why did they have that?
And just down the road at the tunnel, they did the ceremony of Baphomet.
Right, the Baphomet ceremony.
Right, so I, even if you're the world's biggest idiot,
which there are a lot of them out there.
I can go through a list of trolls. There's a lot of them out there. We could just call this hangout, spending the day talking about the idiot trolls we have acquired. And this could be an 8-hour plus video. Yeah. But the truth of the matter is that even if you're the world's biggest idiot, moronic, enslaved mentally, idiocentric reject, even if you are the worst of the worst and you are that four-eyed guy with the tape between your glasses, butt-blue pimple face with 150 gold stars on your mother's fridge, and hiding in your room playing chess with yourself, even if you're that guy, you have to, at the very least, look at what's going on at CERN with the dance of Shiva, the statue of Shiva. Go into some research about who Shiva is, even if you think it's mythical, and then you go down the road to the tunnel in Switzerland where they do the dance of Baphomet, right? And then you look at the actual caught-on video ritual property. At the very least, like I said, you could be the dumbest of the dumbest. You can make Dumb and Dumber the movie all over again with a camera just pointing at your face. That's it. You could be that guy, and you still have to say something ain't right.
Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the problem. The problem is that a lot of our trolls and haters is atheist. All right. So I don't care. I don't care if Krishna came down in person, tapped him on the shoulder, and said, "Hey, here I am." It wouldn't do no good. If Jesus did the same thing, wouldn't do no good. All right. Nothing phases these guys. Okay. They are in their own little bubble, and nothing that could happen. I mean, the gods could rain fire down from heaven, and nothing would phase these cats. Okay. Oh, well, it was just a freak meteor shower. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. There's no way to absolutely convince these guys of the supernatural, let alone of the gods and whatever.
Bro, I've done this many times. So
hang on a second. Hold that thought. I gotta see what my daughter's talking about.
She's a nice lady. Yeah, she's a nice lady.
Yeah. I'm glad she's a flat earther. That's always good.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No No. Yeah, man. No, since she has some time at home, maybe you can, hook her up with a marketing gig or something.
Hi,
man.
I'm
That'd
Milo,
be
and
good.
today I am joined by Rowing Millennial. Rowing Millennial and I take very different political stances, but we're here to talk about 8 different ways that you can respectfully disagree with someone.
Personally, I find one of the major reasons why these tiny little disagreements can all of a sudden explode into these huge heated debates, especially on social media, is when we start to make assumptions about people who disagree with us based on the stereotypes we have of them. You voted for Trump, you must hate Mexicans. You're a feminist, you must hate men. The most extreme and outrageous people are usually the ones who get the most attention, so it can be easy to believe that they represent their entire movements. And I know that I'm certainly guilty of making these generalizations way too often. But on the other hand, I'm sure we all also know how frustrating it is to have our views mischaracterized or misrepresented by people who don't really know us. So instead of assuming that someone's entire set of political and social beliefs will fit into the stereotypes that we've crafted about the people across the aisle, if we want to know what someone thinks about something, we should just ask them.
You constantly research your own opinions and reevaluate them, even if you are not currently involved in a discussion.
Go eat outside.
This is just a good thing to
Go,
do,
quickly.
and I know I still appreciate it if I get into a discussion with someone and they have already done a lot of research about what I'm talking
Mama
about.
says that
makes me
alligators
feel
are
like I'm
ornery
not
because
just
they got
trying
all
to
them teeth
spoon-feed
but
you
no toothbrush.
information, and you're not putting in much effort. If I can tell you did your research before you engaged me in this discussion, I will feel much more motivated to talk this out with you.
As hard as it might be, we should also not assume that someone's a bad person just because they have different views than us. When our own social and political views are so deeply entrenched in values that we think are important, like equality or liberty, for example, it can be tempting to believe that anyone who disagrees with us must therefore be a bad person who probably hates everything we hold dear. But someone can still support the same values as you, but see different solutions as necessary for securing them. Or maybe they think that the same solutions should just be implemented in different ways, or maybe that other issues are more pressing now, and so those deserve our attention instead. There are tons of reasons out there why someone might disagree with us that have nothing to do with them being bad people, so we shouldn't be so quick to jump on the idea of being morally superior to the people on the other side. That implies that things can be as simple as we're right, you're wrong, we're the good guys, you're the bad guys, which is a very narrow view to have of our society and culture and political sphere and people
This
in
has
general.
actually got a little bit of age on it. I'm kind of late to the party on this one.
It helps to not
But that's
intentionally
okay.
misgender them.
That is
I know
okay,
trans people
because
who will have
this
respectful
here
conversations with someone who does
is just
intentionally
going
misgender
vows.
them, but it's
Says
just
Facebook vows
not
to
very
tackle
respectful. It
concerns
doesn't show
over
that you
blasphemous
care about me or
content.
my opinions and my perspective
All
in
right.
life. It's
This
okay
is from
if you
Yahoo
make
News.
mistakes. Just don't do it on purpose. Please, thank you.
And this is written by a Muslim, okay? So you fucking Muslim apologists can suck my big red dick,
When we're
every
talking
goddamn
or
one of
writing
you.
about anything really, sometimes things just don't come out how we
Saeed
need them to. And no
Raza
matter how cool
Hassan.
we try to be, sometimes
I don't
things
think you
just
get
get
any more
misunderstood.
fucking Muslim
When
than
you're
that,
listening
do
to
you?
someone you disagree with, especially in a debate or
Okay,
argument about
so
political
what are we
or social
saying here?
issues, I know a lot
What
of
is
us
this
tend
all
to be
about?
on the lookout for any off-the-cuff
What
remark
this is
that makes the
about,
other person
ladies
look
and
like some
gentlemen,
crazy
is that Mark
extremist or that gives us
Zuckerberg
more
and the
ammunition to
people that
argue with.
work at
But if someone says
Facebook
that a statement they made
literally
really
have
didn't reflect their
blood
actual
on their
opinions,
hands.
or that it was taken out of context, we
They
should accept that in
literally
good
have
faith and
gotten
give them the
people
chance to
killed
accurately represent
for
themselves.
simply
Because if it were
expressing
us,
their
I'm sure
freedom
we would
of
want the same
speech.
courtesy. There's no point in winning debates or arguments if it's
Literally.
based on a technicality
Fuckers
that
are
the other
animals.
person doesn't really
They
believe
drink
in anyway.
camel piss,
Don't
for fuck's
continue
sake.
a conversation
All right, who in the
if it is
fuck would
harmful
do
to
that?
your
I mean, my
mental
God, that's
health.
horrible.
Even if that
Yeah.
makes the other party
I
think
get
they
sick
won,
thinking about it.
You're not losing
Anyways,
by taking care of yourself. Self-care
The point
is
is
most
that
important.
Facebook has
And
gotten
if we
people
want to be
killed
respectful, we really shouldn't use
that were
someone's
doing nothing
age,
wrong
race,
except
gender, or
expressing
political
their
identity
opinion.
as an
Fuckers
argument
are
against them.
animals.
I'm sure
They
we've
drink
all been
camel
there. We
piss,
put a
for
lot of
fuck's
thought and
sake.
effort into expressing
All right,
our
who in the
opinions
fuck would do
concisely,
that? I
grading
mean,
and
my
supporting
God,
evidence,
that's
and
horrible.
taking into account all opposing views. Oh yeah, that nuance. But
That
then
blood ain't
someone
going
hits
nowhere.
us
You
with one
can
of these.
you can sit
Oh,
there and
you
wash your
millennials, you're
hands
just
1,000
too young.
times. It
You're
ain't going to
only
wash
saying
off.
that
It ain't going
because you're
nowhere.
a liberal. What
That
would
shit
you
ain't
know
going
about
nowhere.
it? You're
And I
white.
hope it haunts you
This is
for the rest of
another
your life.
point that goes
I
back
hope
hope the
stereotyping.
spirits of those
When we
people
see that
come
someone
to
is
you
part
in
of
the
an
dark of
easily
night.
identifiable group
You know
we have some
why I
criticism
come
of,
here to get
the
these
urge to
chickens?
just dismiss
No,
everything
Bob.
they're saying
'Cause
based on
my
that one
brother makes the best
characteristic
fried
can be very
chicken in the
strong.
world.
But someone's
Is that
identity,
right?
their
Yeah,
age,
come
race,
on, come
political
on, come on,
persuasion,
come on,
gender,
sir. How you?
whatever,
How y'all
is
doing?
not
Good
a valid
morning.
argument
Good,
against their
good, good. What
opinions.
you
They're
got for
not
me?
a reason to
Well,
say,
we got these
nah, I'm not
real
gonna listen
cute
to
bar
you.
rock
We need to
chickens
remember
here.
that
Yeah,
opinions
I see
stand
you
on
got
their
the
own
nice
merits, and making these sort of
long-legged,
personal
roll-down the
attacks
red
against someone
chicken.
in an
Roll-down
effort to
red.
just dismiss
Yeah,
what they're
that's all
saying
right
is
there.
really not conducive to a
I want
healthy
a roll-down
dialogue, and
red
actually
for
it's
me.
probably
All
just
right?
going
Two
to cause
roll-down red
resentment,
too.
which is the
Yeah.
opposite of what we should want. So please don't use someone's personal details as a
Now,
reason
y'all
to
ain't
just
planning
brush
on
aside
fucking
what they
these
have to
chickens, are
say.
you?
Everyone deserves to be heard.
Don't publicly shame people. Getting on your platform in
What
front
the
of whatever
fuck are you
audience you
getting at?
have and trying to shame
Do you
someone
fuck
out
chickens?
of their opinion is really harmful.
Well, I have thought
it's
about
not a
fucking some
considerate thing
chickens
to
before.
do, and it's not like you're winning
you wanna
any
have a good
arguments.
time and you need
You're
some
just making them feel bad.
You say
so
I'm
that
not the
maybe they
Punisher.
retreat from
Fuck
their
you.
arguments.
I've been the
Thank you so
Punisher.
much for
I was a
watching this
Punisher
video,
before
and thank
Punisher
you for
was ever
joining
famous.
Roaming Millennial.
Before anybody
Y'all
even
should
knew who
go
the
check
fuck
out
the
her
Punisher
channel,
was.
because we
I
did a
was
video
the
on her
Punisher.
channel with
I've been
8
beat
more
up, I've been
ways to
stabbed, I've been
respectfully
shot
disagree
at,
with someone.
I've been fucking hung
So
on
go
a
check
hook
that
and
out.
left to die.
Peace.
Dumbasses. What the fuck are you doing? Have you been out in the street? Fuck no. Hiding behind your goddamn computer. You don't even have the fucking guts to cam the fuck up and face me face to face. Dumbasses. You don't fucking know me. Busting up fucking drug lords and shit. Arizona, Florida, Maine, North Carolina, North Dakota. I've been all over this fucking country. My parents don't even know half the shit I've done. You know, I told my parents, I said, I'm looking for a good woman, which was the truth. But in the process of looking for a good woman, I also did my part, too. Because those bitches took my children's lives, and they need to fucking pay. You're right. Frank Castle is a work of fiction. I'm not. And you need to get that through your fucking head, dumbass.